Marshall Faulk called it football heaven. After unveiling his Hall of Fame bust with friend and agent Rocky Arsenault, Faulk began to thank the people that helped him from the Desire projects in the 9th Ward of New Orleans. And after thanking Wayne Reese, his former coach at George Washington Carver High School, he talked about current Saints wide receivers coach Curtis Johnson, who at the time was the wide receivers coach and recruiter at San Diego State.
He was in town on a recruiting trip at our game, recruiting another player. He saw my tape, took that tape back to Coach Luganville, and Coach Luganville said, "We need to have this kid." CJ, Curtis Johnson, we call him CJ. Thank you for taking the time to watch my tape. Thank you for hand delivering that tape to Coach Luganville. Without those efforts, all of this may not have been possible.
Coming out of Carver High School and the things that he went through, and just to appreciate everybody, that award was for all those people who helped him. Coach Reese, his mother, his brothers, Rocky and all those guys. He did a great job. And I went to the school thinking he was going to be this big Marshall Faulk, this big-looking character, and he came out kind of looking at an average guy like me. I was like, wait a minute, they're playing this joke on me. But you know what, after I got to know him and after I really sat down and watched the tape, he could play.
Coach Johnson has now seen the speech several times, but when Marshall actually gave it live, Coach Johnson missed it. Guess where he was?
In a meeting, during 2 days. And Marshall invited me. He sent me the invitation, a nice invitation, and I couldn't make it because if I was to go out and miss 3 practices, I couldn't miss 3 practices. And he really understood. He sent me back a great text. But actually, when he was going, I was kind of getting ready to get into a meeting, and then later on, actually the next day I saw it. My wife saw it, and she rewinded it about 10 times.
What'd you think when you watched it?
Oh, it gave me chills. I wanted to cry. Just to know the things that he went through and the things that, the relationships that we have and the impact a young man doing anything, it was fantastic.
Now a member of the Hall of Fame fraternity, Saints legendary linebacker Ricky Jackson was in Canton for this year's induction of the first New Orleanian inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I mean, it was great for the city. It was great for Marshall and his family. I mean, he did a great job, had a great speech, and all week, spending the week with him, I mean, just a class guy.
Certainly now New Orleans represented with not only a Saint finally, but now a New Orleanian finally, now getting a little New Orleans feel to it up there.
Yeah, I mean, next we'll have Willie Roaf, then Martin Anderson come after that, and Drew Brees them after that. So it's trend been set now. Saints won the Super Bowl, so everything falling New Orleans way.
Reporting for Outside the Huddle, I'm Richey.